Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
President Trump taking aim at Michigan Governor Whitmer yet again, the reason he tweeted about her this morning. But first, new information after a shooting at a party in Inkster leads to a deadly crash in Dearborn Heights. And that tops our news this noon. Thank you for joining us. You are looking at video from the scene. We know at least 2 people were shot in an Inkster neighborhood near Henry Ruffin, Michigan Avenue. And that was the incident that set off this troubling train of events this morning. Let's get to Victor Williams. He has been following this story for us since it broke. Talk us through what you've learned.
Well, first off, this is a very complicated story with a lot of moving parts, but we're here at the Inkster apartment complex where that shooting happened, and we're told by a woman who was at that party that 2 men blended in, and after that, all of a sudden, they just walked up and started firing shots. This afternoon, a woman is dead after being ejected from a vehicle during a multi-car crash at Inkster and Fort Road early Wednesday morning. Police say it was someone being rushed to the hospital privately after being shot at a party at this Inkster apartment complex.
It was supposed to be just a good time, a good party for someone whose birthday who had passed.
But Aisha Moore, who was at the party, has a similar story that ended very differently. She says things took a turn for the worse when she saw a couple of guys targeting her friend Eddie.
We were all out here, a group of 40 people at least, and these 2 men casually walked up, and they were so casual that they looked like they were our friends, and they just opened fire on that young man.
At least 15 shots were exchanged according to witnesses in the area. Some bullets even went into the apartments of surrounding neighbors.
It came in my son's room. Could have hit him. It could have hit him. That was close. I wish they stopped shooting out here like that.
Luckily, no one was hurt by any stray bullets, but Aisha's friend, Eddie, had been shot several times.
We heard Eddie calling out saying, ah, and then we found him on the ground.
From there, the race began to get Eddie to the hospital.
I think he's like 300 and something pounds. It was 6 of us picking him up, trying to get him in the truck.
Eddie was lifted into this maroon pickup truck with Aisha behind the wheel. An officer saw they were in distress and was able to call EMS to finish getting the man to the hospital.
But he's okay. He all right.
Aisha is just glad her drive to the hospital didn't end up like the other one.
Just want to say a prayer for that person and their family.
As far as the condition of the people shot, it's unclear, but we have been told that one of those people did have surgery. As far as the 2 people who are accused of firing shots, police are still looking for them. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor, thank you. The man accused of throwing a sandbag over an overpass faced a judge today. David Garcia is charged with throwing objects at cars, causing serious impairment. Prosecutors say that Garcia threw a 40-pound sandbag off of an I-96 overpass, and that sandbag smashed through the windshield of a car, injuring the driver. A judge set his bail at $50,000. Breaking news out of New York this afternoon. A federal appeals court has ruled that President Trump must turn over his tax returns to a New York prosecutor. A 3-judge panel ruled against the president's lawyers. The prosecutor is looking for 8 years of returns and an investigation of hush money payments and other financial transactions. It's likely the president's lawyer will ask the U.S. Supreme Court to block enforcement of that subpoena. And this morning, President Trump took aim at Michigan Governor Whitmer again, this time tweeting about the Michigan Supreme Court's decision to strike down the governor's executive powers. His tweet reads, quote, "We just got a big win for the people of Michigan. Open up your churches and your schools, auto companies pouring in and expanding. Thank you, Mr. President. Have fun. We do need to fact check with regards to his claims about auto companies. Neither car manufacturing and sales are at record levels. Annual figures show manufacturing and sales have actually dropped since 2016 under the President Trump leadership. The number of motor vehicle and parts manufacturing jobs in Michigan has gone down, not up, under Trump, and even before the coronavirus pandemic caused economic shutdowns. Meantime, just yesterday, the governor accused the Republican-led legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court of putting lives at risk.
As a result of this action, of the court's action and the legislature's action, our COVID-19 cases could likely go up. There will be uncertainty. There will be disruption. and possibly greater risk to our economy, to our loved ones, possibly more people quarantined and more fatalities.
Researchers at Imperial College London and Oxford University found that Governor Whitmer's executive orders saved lives, perhaps in the tens of thousands. Published reports today say a former head of the Centers for Disease Control is asking the current CDC director to reveal the agency's shortcomings in the pandemic, even if it costs him his job. Dr. William Fahey, he wrote CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield saying, quote, "Don't shy away from the fact that this has been an unacceptable toll on our country. It is a slaughter and not just a political dispute." He goes on to say that this will go down as a colossal failure of the public health system of this country. Dr. Fourier, he served as the CDC director under Presidents Carter and Reagan and is credited with helping eradicate smallpox. Here's a look at your coronavirus headlines this noon. Farmington Public Schools will begin elementary in-person learning in November. The state is reporting 903 new cases of COVID-19, and we have lost 22 more people to the virus. On the national front, the United States has surpassed 7,504,000 confirmed cases, with more than 210,000 people dying from this virus. These numbers are from the Johns Hopkins University database. In Washington today, a president in coronavirus recovery and a stimulus in limbo. You may recall it took a nosedive yesterday after President Trump stopped negotiations on the coronavirus stimulus and then appeared to reverse course, leaving the White House explaining. This is a live look at the stock market right now. A Wall Street rally gains steam with the Dow up as President Trump appears to soften his stance on coronavirus aid. Let's send things over to Tracy Potts in Washington with more.
As of this morning, it's not clear when those $1,200 checks will happen. But what we do know, the president wants to deal with that now and deal with other parts of the COVID stimulus package after the election.
Stimulus deliberations shut down in the middle of a pandemic by a president recovering from COVID-19. He first tweeted that negotiations are off until after the election. The stock market took a nosedive.
Clearly, this is a huge shock to the system. We know millions of Americans are out of work and they're depending on another stimulus check.
Then, in an apparent reversal, the president said he's ready to sign off on stimulus checks and billions for airlines and small business loans. The White House explaining the big deal is off, but the president wants to deal with each issue separately. Still contagious, Mr. Trump says he's planning to attend the presidential debate in Miami next week.
We have to ask if the stress of a debate is really worth taking along with the infectious implications of that potentially for the people in the debate.
The president's posts comparing COVID to the flu were taken down by Facebook and flagged on Twitter.
You don't get a pandemic that kills 1 million people, and it isn't even over yet with influenza. So it is not correct to say it's the same as flu.
At least 18 people tied to the White House have now tested positive. The latest, advisor Stephen Miller. At the Pentagon, defense officials tell NBC the Joint Chiefs chair and other top brass are quarantined after a Coast Guard official caught the virus.
Turns out 7 of the 8 Joint Chiefs were in a meeting Friday with that Coast Guard admiral. One was traveling. The other 7 are now quarantined, along with the director of the National Security Agency. He was there, too. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Tracy, thank you. Meantime, the stage is set for the next major event in the 2020 presidential election. Tonight is the vice presidential debate. Republican Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic challenger California Senator Kamala Harris will face each other in Salt Lake City, Utah. And this is a live look at the debate site. While the debate will cover several topics, it's expected to center on the Trump administration's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. With the pandemic in mind, the candidates will be placed more than 12 feet apart on stage with a plexiglass panel also separating them. Both tested negative for the virus yesterday. Anyone in the live audience who does not wear a mask will be asked to leave. And you can watch the debate live tonight right here on Local 4. It gets underway at 9 p.m. And then join us early tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m. with Grant Herms. He will be with us to do the fact-checking of the claims that were made by both candidates. Now let's check in with Brandon as we take a look at your forecast this noon and a quick look outside over the downtown skyline and Detroit River. Looking beautiful right now with the sunshine out. Nice day, Brandon.
Just try to look behind me if you can, and you'll see just the trees waving and moving. Really very aggressive winds out here, kind of telling our weather story for the rest of the day. That's all right. It's a warming wind, believe it or not. Temperatures, when you average all 4 zones, about 69 degrees with a west wind that is anywhere between 15 to 25. And look at some of these gusts. Occasional bursts in the wind, upwards of 37 miles an hour over in Pontiac, 35 in Monroe. Certainly capable of knocking some tree limbs down or maybe a tree limb onto a power line. Don't want that, but can't rule it out because there'll be consistent, persistent winds. Low 70s with more and more sunshine, Rhonda. We do have more 70s to come, plus we're tracking a dangerous storm down in the Gulf.
All right, Brandon, we'll check in with you shortly. Meantime, still to come, an urgent warning that the head of the U.S. counterintelligence is saying about foreign efforts to meddle in the presidential election.